There's a brief prayer of David that I've prayed so many times in my life. It's found in today's reading from the Psalms. David prays, "Lead me to the rock that is higher than I." He's saying, Lord, I don't know what to do. I need you, but I don't know how to get to you. But you know the way, Lord, so take me there. A lot of people confuse faith with having confidence in our prayers. They say things like, don't let God see your tears. Don't let him think that you're afraid, because then that will prove that you don't really have faith and he won't answer your prayers. So they go to him armed with Bible verses to quote and bold declarations to make in his presence, and with complete certainty that they know exactly what God ought to do and they know how to make him do it. But what many people are calling faith is often nothing more than presumption and pretense, even sometimes arrogance. You see, true faith recognizes that we don't know what to do. True faith comes empty-handed and says, Lord, I don't have anything to offer. True faith looks to God and simply trusts him to be God. And true faith is often the strongest when we are in a position to recognize that we are the weakest. Psalm 60, God's people are in big trouble, and David is desperate before the Lord. And when you read this, I know you know what this feels like, whether you've actually honestly said it to the Lord or not. David says, God, you've rejected us. You have broken us. You have been angry with us and made us experience hardship. Psalm 61, then he cries out to the Lord in the midst of his helplessness. Now remember, a couple of weeks ago, we mentioned that when we go to the Lord, it doesn't help to say a bunch of spiritual sounding words that make him think that we're so full of faith. He knows what's in our hearts already. True faith is honest with God, and David prays a prayer of true faith. Lord, my heart is faint, he says. I have nothing. I need you, so lead me, Lord. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. And the simple reason for that is because of his confidence that God alone is his refuge. He says, you alone have always been my refuge, but I can't see you right now, so lead me, Lord. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. In other words, God, lead me to you. David says in verse 4, let me dwell in your tent forever. It's like he said in Psalm 27. Remember that he's surrounded by enemies, but he doesn't ask the Lord to give him power to be victorious over his enemies. He said, Lord, there's only one thing that I want. There's only one thing that I need, and therefore there is only one thing that I will seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord, in his presence forever, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to meditate in his temple. That's true faith. It's not faith for power to personally conquer my enemies or to solve my personal problems, but faith that knows and trusts where life really comes from simply knowing and walking with God. In Psalm 62, David says, I'm not going to tell the Lord what to do. I don't even know what I ought to say. And the whole point of the psalm, which he repeats twice, is this: my soul waits in silence for God only. He only is my rock and my salvation, and so my hope is only from him. Verse 5, he says, therefore trust him at all times. Pour out your heart honestly before him, because he is our refuge. That's what true faith looks like. Lord, I've got nothing. I don't know what to do. I need you, but I can't get to you, so lead me. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I am. Lead me, Lord, to you.